In the world of source management, there are two primary providers of remote repository services. Now, if we remember back to some of the other videos we've watched, I'm talking about the fact that Git can be used on just your machine. But if you want redundancy and you want to make sure that your software is safe in case you have a system crash, you're going to want to have a remote repository. And we talked about the fact that remote repositories can be a local server on your network if you're in an enterprise environment, or if you're doing personal software development, if you're a contractor, if you're a student, you'll want to have a remote repository that's not inside your house or on a single computer. You're going to want it to be with a remote service provider. And there are two big ones. There's GitHub, which has been around the longest, and they do an awesome job. And then there is GitLab. Now, my personal preference, I like GitLab. I've been using it for years. I find its user interface and the ability to manage your repositories to be simplified, more intuitive than GitHub. But GitHub is huge because it's been around for a really long time. So being that you are working towards your software engineering degree and that you are working towards creating a portfolio of all of your work in order to get that first job, we're going to go ahead and focus on GitHub because it's the one people know about the most. It's also the one that people ask for the most, but you could use either one and they both operate identically, meaning that anybody who is hiring, any hiring manager should be able to look at either, get your code portfolio, and do just great. But we'll stick with GitHub right now. We're also going to do this on Windows because primarily people are on Windows. There are a few that are using Mac. I use Mac personally because I'm a web application developer as well as a UI designer. So I like Mac. But for this, we're going to go ahead and do it through Windows. And so right here, I've got Windows running as a virtual machine, and I've got Internet Explorer up. And so we're going to go ahead and walk through the process of signing up for a GitHub account and then going through that process of getting everything ready on our machine in order to have a remote repository, a local repository, and begin the process of managing our source with a little micro project in a future video. So let's go ahead and get this done. Right now it's asking you to come up with a username, and so only alphanumeric. So let's come up with a different name since my name is common and it's always used everywhere. Let's do, what's a good username? T. Clark Neumont. Here we go. So we'll do T. Clark Neumont, and then we'll just do my email address, tclark@neumont.edu. And then go ahead and give it a password. Not going to say that out loud, of course. And we go ahead and click sign up. So now we've signed up. I didn't, of course, give it a very good or very safe password because it's not my main GitHub, but you'll want to choose a good password, of course. So here we're on GitHub. So we're going to go ahead and start out with setting up our account. So first things first, you've got your user account information right here. We've got your username, your email address. They didn't like my password because it could be easily guessed. And then you can go ahead and verify your account. And so I guess we're going to rotate the image. That's odd, but interesting. Okay, so we verified that we're human and we're not a machine. It's an interesting way to do it. I haven't seen that before. And then we can go ahead and click create account. I guess they really don't like my password, so I think we'll go for something a little bit more, a little stronger, I guess. Go ahead and create our account. All right, so we're going to create our account. I'm going for the free plan because we're just going to be doing a bunch of private stuff. And as a student, you can go ahead and click on the GitHub Student Developer Pack. And you'll get all kinds of free tools and stuff when you set up as a student. I'm not a student, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick with the free one. And we'll move on with that. All right. So third step, tailor your experience. So we're going to go ahead and, well, we're going to go with totally new to programming because most of you are, because you're in your first projects course at Neumont. We're going to do school projects is really what we're doing. And I'm a student. And what am I interested in? Well, I love web development. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with web. I guess they say web-development. All right. Oh, I keep hitting backspace. Web development. Okay. Don't hit tab. Apparently it breaks things. Okay. Go ahead and hit submit. All right. So now we have a GitHub account. And this means that we now have a provider that provides us remote repository access. And we have a place where we'll have a second copy of our repositories that contain our software. Really good thing. Provides us that redundancy. Now we're going to go ahead and let's start a project. Let's create ourselves a project. Now, our first project, we got to verify our email address first. So we need to verify our email address. So you're going to go ahead and open up your Outlook or your web mail, and then you're going to go ahead and find the email from GitHub. Then you go ahead and verify your account. After we've verified our accounts, then we're going to go ahead and walk through setting up a project.